Hi Math 1. This video is going to review with you the two types of sequences that we studied in Unit 1. The first type is arithmetic. The sequence is arithmetic if it has an adding or a subtracting pattern. An adding or a subtracting pattern. It is going to have a common difference. That's where you get the difference, the subtraction between them. Words that you might see, more than or less than. You might see the word add, or spend, adding something, spending money, it would be subtracting. If you look at an equation, you're going to see plus or minus a common difference. You're going to see plus or minus a common difference number. You're not going to see an exponent if it's arithmetic. And then the graph is going to look like a straight line. It's going to look like a straight line. If something is arithmetic, it's going to be either going up, increasing, or decreasing. Maybe we'll add those words here too. So you might also see the words increase or decrease. Now, if it's geometric, what is that going to look like? A sequence that is geometric is going to have a multiply pattern. Now, I'm not going to say a divide pattern because if it's divide, remember, it's multiply by a fraction. So it's either multiply by a number or multiply by a fraction. It is called a common ratio. Words that you might see the word twice or double, and that would mean times 2. You might see the word triple, and that would be times 3. You might see the word half, which would mean you multiply by a half. You might see a third. A third of something means you multiply by 1/3. Those are the words you're going to see. The equation is going to have multiply by a common ratio. And when you multiply by something over and over, you're going to get an exponent. So the equation has an exponent. And then what does the graph look like? The graph looks like a curve. It looks like a curve. The curve could be going higher, 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 or it could be getting smaller, smaller, smaller. Don't call it a curve line. Line is for arithmetic, curve is for geometric. I'm going to go through a couple of examples so you get the hang of it. This first one right here is a function. I noticed that there are no exponents. No exponents. So immediately, I know that this is arithmetic. Arithmetic, because there are no exponents. But I do want to dive a little deeper and see what's going on with this equation. So I'm going to find the first 3 values. I'm going to take out my calculator and I'm going to plug in a 1. I'm going to plug a 1 into this equation. So I'm going to do f of 1, and that's -3 times the 1 plus 5. So let's do that. -3 times the 1 plus 5, and the first value is a 2. I'm now going to plug in 2. I'm going to go grab this equation and change the 1 to a 2. The second value is -1. Now I'm going to plug in a 3. Go get the equation, change the 2 to a 3, and the third value is -4. -4. So what is happening? These numbers are decreasing. They are going down. The question is, how much does it go down from -1 to -4? And it's going down, we're going to subtract 3. So the common difference is minus 3. Okay, you have to say a reason when you say why it's arithmetic. All right, let's do the second one. Similarly, I see an equation, but this one has an exponent. So right away, I know that this equation is geometric. It's geometric because the equation has an exponent. But we do want to dive a little deeper and find the first 3 values. So what we're going to do is get out our calculator. We're going to type 36, and then the fraction button is alpha y equals number 1. And we'll put the 1 in the numerator, put the 3 in the denominator, close it up, to the power of. So we're going to use that exponent button. The exponent button is right here, to the power of. Okay. The fraction button, remember, was alpha y equals. So to find these terms, the first term I'm going to plug in is a 1 into that exponent. So I'll type 1 minus 1. The first term is 36. Now it's time to plug a 2. 2, you have to go in that spot. So I'm going to go up. I'm going to grab that equation, and I'm going to change the 1 to a 2. So the second term is 12. And we'll do it one more time. Let's plug a 3 into that x spot. So 3 goes in that power right there. And the third value is 4. So what is happening with the values on this table? Okay, these values are going down. It's a geometric pattern, so multiply or divide. So they are getting divided by 3. If this is challenging for you, you could look down here. Oh, but wait a minute, we're not supposed to say a divide pattern, right? I'll have to say 1/3. Okay, so I'm going to say that the common ratio is 1/3. You can never say a divide. You have to always say a fraction when it's going down. This third example here, okay, when I look at it, this is a graph, and I notice that the points are all lined up. So this is an example of an arithmetic sequence. It's arithmetic because I'm looking at the graph, and the graph, okay, is a line. The graph is a line. I can't say that there's no exponents. I don't see exponents. This is a graph. Okay, if you did want to try to figure out the common difference, this goes from 3, and then this point goes to 6. So it looks like it goes up 3, and then 6 plus 3 more, up to 9. So it looks like it's going up 3 each time. Okay, I see a visual representation. And I notice here that the number of little stars here is getting bigger. It's getting bigger. So let's take a look at this first one. There's only 1, and then there's 2, then there's 4, and then there's 8. So it's getting larger. Is it adding or is it multiplying? Okay. It looks like from 1 to 2 times by 2, 2 times 2 is 4. So if it's a multiply pattern, we're going to call it geometric, okay, because the common ratio is multiply by 2. If you see a table, you're going to want to take a look at the outputs and see what's happening. The starting output is 18, and it's getting smaller. Smaller could either be subtract or it could be divide. But then here's 6 to 2, so it's not subtracting evenly. It looks like it's dividing. It's getting smaller. This is 1/3, and that's 1/3. Okay, 1/3, 1/3. So this is definitely geometric. And the common ratio is 1/3. I wouldn't want to say that I don't see an exponent. This is not an equation. I wouldn't want to say this is a curved graph. That's not a graph. Okay, oh, here's a graph. Here's a graph. And I notice that the points are curving. They're decreasing down. So this one is definitely geometric. Okay, and the reason I'm going to give is because the graph is a curve. Okay, good luck doing your practice.